there's a big different culture shift. Obviously, what we've grown up with and what you've grown up with. In some ways, we grew up with a more of a monoculture.
Yes,
I think.
Yes.
Of movies at certain age, whereas in some ways you've had the pleasure of growing up having just movies at your fingertips.
Yeah.
We could only watch movies when they were on TV or when we could hire videos out of the video rental store.
Now this
Whereas
is something
for you've grown up having the ability just a blanket of right,
everything.
what we're going to watch on Netflix, what we watch on Disney.
I think this is something we've talked about, a subject we've talked about before. I think maybe not on the channel.
And I want to bring it up because it is a cultural thing.
No, I think it's an interesting point
to bring with this cultural generational shift.
Because I think the reason that's an important point to make is I think when you grow up in that sort of let's call it a monoculture as opposed to I don't know what you call it, a multicultural
culture,
a kind of a sort of omniculture or whatever the opposite of monoculture is. I think the practical upshot of that is, and you've said this to me before, because you pointed this out to me years ago. It means that we grew up watching the same dozen or so films over and over again.
Yeah.
Ghostbusters, Star Wars, Raiders of the Lost Ark, Back to the Future,
exactly.
whatever. Because that's all we had on video taped off the telly.
Exactly.
Because we've only got 6 or 7 tapes that our parents have allowed us to have until we get older and get our own money and we go and buy our own tapes and get our own TV and DVD.
Exactly.
DVD,
which we all did.
VCR and record our own things. But Toby's had, like you say, you've had everything. So you only watch things once, probably.
Exactly, yeah. So I mean, you've mentioned that to me.
There's always something else to move on to.
Where I've said, "Oh, should we go watch this again? Should we watch Raiders again, or should we watch Star Wars again?"
No, I've seen that.
I've seen that. So
it's a question about
you said before that you don't like to watch something until you've almost like forgotten it enough.
Yes, because I prefer to have the kind of fresh experience, and that's why I go on to different things, and that's why. Oh no, I just kind of. I like the idea.
Yeah. Which is not necessarily.
And I wonder why that's a bad thing. I don't think that's a bad thing at all, because in some ways, why should you have to?
We all have to do that now.
In some ways, you're not limited.
Yeah.
And in some ways, if you've watched Raiders 2 or 3 times, you might think, well, why am I going to watch it again? I kind of know what happens. I maybe want to wait until I can't remember what happens in the snake pit. Before
and we all the thing is we all spoilers for because but the thing is the point is we all do that now as well because with new stuff like we've got the old stuff that we can still watch that we're already familiar with and watched millions of times like Ferris Bueller but when it comes to newer stuff I tend to only watch newer films.
I would agree with that.
I
would agree with
rare exceptions.
I don't think there's many films that I've seen in the last, let's say,
new
50 films. Last definitely 10 years, if not 15 years, bordering on 20,
probably,
but that we would sort of go back and revisit, rewatch as much as something that we would have watched
from my childhood
30 or 40 years ago. So I mean, I'm just trying to think of an example, something I've watched a couple of years ago, and because I say this with some, not authority, but my experience has been, because I watch a lot of new movies, like 70, 100 new movies every year. So, but I generally only watch them once. Yeah.
Occasionally I'll see a new film I will buy it on Blu-ray and I'll watch it again. But even then, I mean, recently I bought The Substance on Blu-ray. I haven't actually rewatched it yet. I saw it when it came out last year, but I haven't actually rewatched it yet, and I'll get around to it. But I want to own a copy of it, and I will watch that again. Yeah. But thinking about it, am I going to watch it more than 2 or 3 more times?
I'm saying that, and I've just thought about some films that actually we probably would do this with. So modern films you would watch more than once.
By modern, I would
really
actually
good.
say.
Okay, I'm going to give you 2 examples. Okay. How many times have you watched Paddington?
That's not really modern, is it?
Well,
for us
here we go again.
Modern. Here we go.
That's a film from your childhood.
Yeah, exactly. But how many times have you seen Paddington or Paddington 2?
Probably 2 or 3 times each.
Right.
And I absolutely adore those films. I've got them on Blu-ray.
I'm just because I know you like it, but they're really good films as well. I'm only saying this because I'm thinking of all modern movies like Lady in the Van. you know, the Alan Bennett, and I've forgotten her name. Passed away last year. Not Betty Davis. She looks like Betty Davis. You're gonna have to edit this.
We'll cut this out. Don't worry about it. Lady in the Van.
Yeah, Lady in the Van. No, but Alan Bennett play. You know where he's the lady living in his van, living in the van in his
There was a
driveway.
lady living in my
van.
van.
Yeah, exactly.
I found her.
Yeah.
She was.
You don't
She
know
was.
the
She had her
film?
thumb stuck in the exhaust pipe.
No, but do you know the film?
So I made her some breakfast. Eh?
No, I
Do you
don't know
the film. Right, okay. Because I've watched that a couple of times because it's a really bloody good film.
Right. And then when did that come out?
Probably set in the 60s and 70s, but it came out probably 10, 15 years ago.
I think the statute of limitations is probably a bit more recent as well, because
Paddington's
15,
more of a-
20 years ago.
Yeah.
Paddington's all right. I think that's
Yeah.
under the wire, but 15, 20 years ago, we still had the DVD Blu-ray rush.
Yeah,
So
true.
we were buying a
I
lot
think
of films
it's
on
one
DVD
that streaming's really
and
kicked
then
in.
watching them
Yeah.
again.
And streaming
Streaming is- I
really,
think streaming
it's
is
only
what's
in
done
10 years, I think.
Yeah, 10 years. I'd say it's
10
probably a
years,
good cut
yeah.
point. And Paddington.
So, I mean, yeah, let's think of a film. I mean, give us an example of film you've grown up with that you would be quite happy just to watch almost like twice, 3 times a year.
If you can.
If you can. I mean, are there any films that you would just go, oh, let's just watch that now. I don't care. Let's just watch it.
No, you can't
Yes.
watch.
Can you think of anything?
Like
I mean,
maybe
it doesn't
Marvel
have to be a
movie or
new
something.
film. It could be any film.
Rest my
Or,
case.
or do you think you've got the drive to have a movie that you want to watch?
Does that idea appeal to you?
No, I generally like to, because also there's so much still out there that I haven't.
Yeah,
I could list
exactly.
off of that
And I
shelf.
think-
I
yeah.
could list about 10 movies that are still like renowned as amazing that I haven't seen.
So I haven't got
Yeah,
around
So
to
why
it.
rewatch something that I still know most of the scenes of?
So
That's my
you know
kind
there's
of
such a
philosophy.
broad catalogue of
Yeah.
amazing
And-
films
yeah,
out there.
and you
You're
wonder
going,
why I
what's
think-
next?
yes.
What's next?
I mean, I
And
should,
you-
I should
and you-
say.
And you guys wonder why I don't think Ferris isn't spoiled.
Good point.
I think also I should
Right.
probably just
Yeah.
say that, you know, I don't want to try and make Toby sort of let's be a
No,
spokesperson for his generation any more than I want us to be a spokesperson for ours, because
this is just an interesting.
Yeah, it's an
sort of
but it's an
we're not
interesting
having a go at
subject.
you. We're not,
Mhm.
you know,
no, I'm not
undermining your choice of movies or
Yeah.
the fact that you would rewatch things or you wouldn't rewatch things.
Because
It's more of
like
a-
I said, we all do
it's
that now.
it's a generational shift. It's one generation will always be different from other generations, and we've got to understand and respect this difference.
Yeah.
Because it's how the world has been. We didn't have streaming when we grew up. If we did, we might not be having this conversation.
And our
about the
parents
subject.
didn't have VHS
Yeah. So
when they were kids, you know.
yeah, exactly. Our parents didn't have. You know, they had to wait for things to be played on the radio or
The
go
radio.
to the cinema. Yeah.
They're showing Psycho on the radio.
Again, another thing that's different between sort of the generation of people that are growing up with a streaming, watching their stuff on a streaming platform as opposed to a DVD or even, a DVD sort of platform, is the benefit we get is if you have the DVD or the Blu-ray, is there's extras. You know, there's additional content to the film. You can get a commentary by the directors or some of the writers or some of the actors that actually made the movies. You can get
I think
much
our regular
broader
viewers
insight.
are quite aware of your.
But this
your
is something that
appreciation for
you
all that
know
stuff.
the streaming generation just don't get that opportunity to experience that much. So
But then neither did we as kids. 'cause
well,
we
not
didn't
until
have it yet.
DVDs really
That-
came
By which time we're in our 20s.
exactly.
30,
But
25,
then I think
No, I'm not-
things
I'm not-
like commentaries and extras
yeah.
are, to be fair, for movie nerds,
Yes.
which we are.
Yeah.
Okay, and hands up to that. I've got no problem with that at all. But then again, yeah, you will be watching the film again. But then, you know, when we review our movies, I will quite happily watch that movie 3 times in the same week. It's right, sound really, really weird, but
Well, you've been doing that for this channel, haven't you?
Exactly,
You've been watching
so-
the commentary on for Goodfellas, I think we did that
well,
one.
exactly. So you know,
I watched it 3 times.
yeah, I watched both commentaries. So yeah, I watched 2 different
And you
commentaries
said
on
you
the
kept
same
getting
movie.
drawn into the film. didn't
Exactly,
you?
and I kept drawn back into the movie about things.
Mhm.
So there is a benefit of when you get to watch a movie more than once, you know, in
It
close
becomes-
proximity.
it
But it's got to
becomes
be something
studying it
that
then,
you
doesn't it?
enjoy as well.
Yeah.
You can't force yourself. It's got to be something you want to do, and it's sometimes a little bit liberating. And also, when you do watch a movie again, even if it's very recently, there's going to be new stuff that you don't see. There's going to be stuff that you just don't realise is there, and you go, "Oh,
A lot
that's
of
the
truly,
connection between those
A
characters."
lot of truly great movies are great because of their
Exactly.
rewatch value. I
Because
think.
actually,
Mm.
and especially with bringing up the Goodfellas movie to and the review of it to Break Immersion actually released today. So if you want to
Yeah,
Yeah,
see behind the curtain,
yeah.
that's when this is being recorded. But because I remember telling you, I'm not sure if it came off the review because I didn't get time to watch it, but because I told you that the person that helps him, that he talks to about going into witness protection, was actually the person
Yeah, we can do
who
that.
got him into witness protection. I remember
Exactly.
telling you that,
Yeah,
and then I think that inspired you to go and watch all of the extras.
you're absolutely right.
Because I
Because
remember him.
no,
I think I also told you that he was in the commentary or
yeah,
something like
exactly. And I didn't know that until you told me, and then I
Yeah.
checked the commentary and gee, yeah, Toby's absolutely right.
that. Mhm.
And yeah, because I was looking at it and I did see that there were multiple commentaries.
Yeah.
But from you saying that, I was like, that's going to have a hell of a bigger insight into this film, because a lot of people are not going to be aware that you know Goodfellas is actually based on a true story. It's based on real life events.
Well, it's
Yeah.
based on a book
On a
written
book
by the
of-
person that happened to. So obviously,
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
probably going to
But
be
there
a
are
bit
there are many real
dramatisation.
life
Maybe
events.
a bit
Yeah,
self-serving.
highly
Mm.
dramatised. But yeah, but no, you're right. So I'm really grateful you told me that, because I think I
Nice.
probably would have only just watched the
Mhm.
Scorsese commentary.
Yeah.
So
And how weird is that I then fueled you into it, and fueled you into a way re-watching it again when you wouldn't have, when I'm normally
well,
the person.
this is it. This
Well,
is the
yeah.
Flavour
interaction.
some irony,
This is
isn't
why
it?
Yeah.
you know, even if you
How
are
ironic.
a lover of whatever it is that you do love, it's good to get together with other people that share your passion, and you can talk stuff. I mean, for you, you must love it with your friends that play games, that you're online gaming
Yeah.
with, where you can just chat and joke and laugh and oh, this game's really funny because it's
Yeah.
ripping off this game, and you know, whatever. And we're
And
doing the
that's-
same thing.
And that's what this channel's all about.
Exactly.